prayer. We know we're blessed, we know we God bless. We know we're blessed, we know we God bless. We know we're blessed, we know we God bless.
There we go, fellas. After one day. What? Now the camera's frozen? Hold on, fellas. Technical issues. Somehow. Immediately off the bat. Now, I promise you, I'm sitting in the chair right now. I know the camera is saying something different. Oops. Alright. We're gonna put it in the intro thing because I don't know what's going on. Hold on. We'll be back in 30 seconds, fellas. Okay, there it is. Sound, video, fella show. Oh, and perfect timing. Perfect timing. Turn around. What started a little bleak. What we've got here. Come here. I'm getting this boy. The mascot has decided to make another appearance on the show. Sup, dog? We got Kazi. He's running around the stew. Just had to display this beautiful dog. Oh, dude. He loves bottles. You know, we should find an empty bottle. Alright. So we got a dog, camera, audio, fella show. It's August 10th. We have what I would describe as. There you go. You can be free. Don't want to lock him in the stew. But he can come back if he wants to. We have wacky news today. Good morning, everyone. With Olympics over, the initial buzz of NBA free agency over, MLB trade deadlines over, things have slowed down. But we have what I would describe as some wacky news, which is my favorite to talk about. Stuff that's a little bit weird. Stuff that makes you go, hey, waggy news like the dog and his tail. Excellent start off. We're really getting into it today. Okay. First, I want to talk about one of the most ridiculous headlines I've ever seen. I don't know who saw this, but there was an issue in the Rockies Marlins game on Sunday, where a fan for the Rockies was allegedly caught shouting a racial slur at Lewis Brinson, the Marlins outfielder, during the game. Teams said they were disgusted. Came in the ninth inning. It got picked up by the microphones. It was audible to the Florida's local broadcast. The the play-by-play guy actually apologized for the language. Turns out he was just yelling at the mascot named Dinger, like hitting dingers. So I'm assuming this is something that nobody thought about when they named the mascot. That's nobody's thought about until right now. But yeah, he's this purple dinosaur, and he was walking through the stands, uh, saying what's up to everyone. The fam was waving towards the mascot and he yelled "Dinger." Um, on the on the play-by-play, on the broadcast, it did not sound like that. But it seems like it was just an unfortunate name for a mascot in this very particular situation. Um, Hoping the fan was really just yelling towards the purple dinosaur named Dinger and didn't mean anything else. They reviewed the videos and all, and they tracked down the fan. Yeah, they kind of were like, yeah, we apologize for being so apologetic about, I don't know, just a weird one. Um, the Rockies even put out like an update on the update. That's what I think the most interesting. Because first everyone came out and was like, "We are so sorry this happened. We're so sorry this was broadcasted. We can't have fans acting like this. Can't have the players treated this way." And then they put out like nice fancy graphic with their words and says, after a thorough investigation that included calls, emails, and video clips from concerned fans, media, and broadcast partners, the Colorado Rockies have concluded that the fan was indeed yelling for Rockies mascot Dinger in hopes of getting his attention for a photo, and there was never any racial slur that occurred. The Rockies remain dedicated to providing an inclusive environment for all fans, players, and guests at Coors Field, and any fan using derogatory language of any kind will be ejected from Coors Field. I think it's definitely the first time I've ever seen a statement from a team that's like, we were indeed calling for the mascot. It's just classic. What else do we have? Luka got paid. Apparently, they sent Dirk over in a plane to go talk to Luka and give him the good news that he was getting the bag. It seems to be a $207 million deal. She's hit his third All-NBA honors season in a row, which gives him a starting salary that could be up to 30% of the salary cap for next year. He was only making $10.2 million next season as a third overall pick. That's in his final year of his contract there. Now he's on a... What did this end up being? Yeah, $207 million, big time contract. The other interesting thing is, Kristaps Porzingis is still there on a max. It hasn't sounded like there's been any talk of him moving, but he's owed $101 million over the next 3 seasons. But they also managed to re-sign Tim Hardaway earlier in free agency. So, hey, maybe if Porzingis shows like anything, they could be, that could be a solid core to have for a bit. But we all know Luka's going to be that main guy, and obviously the Mavericks knew it. I want to see, how long is this deal? Yeah, 5-year, $207 million super max. So he's locked up in Dallas. There's talk, will he stay? Will he stay? I don't think it was ever a real question. Of course he's staying there. Now it's really, of course, he's staying here. He just got an enormous sum of money. So shout out to him. Way to go. Hopefully, they still need to add a little bit down there. But, they kept their core pieces so far. And then Porzingis is still a question. He's called the unicorn for a couple of reasons, I think. Part of it's because I don't know if you're ever actually gonna see him. You know, he's a bit of an enigma. I really he was so fun to watch over a couple seasons there in New York, and then just never really came back into that zone. But I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. But until then, they got Luca. That should be enough to at least take him to the playoffs. Hardaway Jr. as well has been a huge part of that team. There's still some good players who are in free agency though. Still have Dennis Schroeder. After he turned down an $84 million contract with the Lakers. Apparently, the whole thing is that at this point, I think he's still looking for a long-term deal with big money. Most of the people offering him are looking to give him a shorter kind of prove it deal, where you can try again next summer to get that big contract. Reportedly, the Celtics have offered him some kind of shorter term thing after they left Kemba Walk or Kemba's off the table. Evan Fournier's off the table. They need a guard. Schroeder needs a playoff type team that could work out. I could see. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind getting him in Philly. I don't. I think there's a lot of teams that would like him. I think the question is, it's definitely not about the guy because he's a good player. I think it's more like, what are we willing to pay for this dude? How long are we willing to pay him? And what does he actually expect? Because it seems like he has pretty big expectations on what he wants from his contract, and that's how we've gotten this far. He did decline an $84 million deal with the Lakers because he thought he could get more. Might not be the case anymore. But we'll see how that goes. Lauri Markkanen, also still available. Still technically a Bull. He's a restricted free agent, so if he does get an offer, the Bulls can match it or negotiate a sign and trade. Interest right now seems to be coming from New Orleans and Charlotte. I think New Orleans would be a very good fit for him and it'd be a lot of fun to see. Markkanen's in an interesting spot because he's a 7-footer. He's 24 years old. He can stretch the floor. His only issue is his shooting, but he was shooting at a 40% 3-point rate last season, so it seems to be something that he's worked on and improved. Not necessarily a great defender, but I think the main thing is he wants out of Chicago. Just wants a fresh start somewhere else, I'm feeling like. And yeah, I think New Orleans would be great for him. I don't know about... He would probably fit pretty well in Charlotte, too. I think someone with that size and his abilities, really, you can plug into any team and they will get better. It's hard to... But especially, if there's a team that already has a good D or a strong defensive big man already, and you can add this guy, keep that size, could be dangerous. Also left Josh Hart. He's also a restricted free agent. He's kind of a weird thing. Is he's 6'5", but he's not quite a good enough 3-point shooter to be a 3-and-D guy. But he gets boards, can defend big guys. So maybe more like a knockoff Draymond kind of thing, but just not. He's kind of like just like a weird, versatile wing. This really all depends on what New Orleans' asking price for him is, because I'm not sure that he really wants out of New Orleans that bad. I don't know if they want to get rid of him, but he is a restricted free agent, so he has to get an offer first for the Pelicans to match. Um, who else is left too? I mean, those are the biggest names. JJ Redick's a free agent. Had a heel injury last season. Um, maybe Brooklyn for the guy. He lives there. That would be dangerous. I don't know. There's still some other guys. We'll see what happens. Still, also the question if LaMarcus Aldridge is going to unretire. Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out. But there's still some big names on the board. All right, here's a good one. So somebody on Sunday at Dodger Stadium ran out onto the field during a baseball game, which we all know not allowed. Um, so he made his enter during from center field, was immediately surrounded by quite a few security guys. However, this guy had some pretty good speed. Um, Jumped over a tackle attempt, managed to get out of there, booked it to right field, where he could possibly jump over a short fence. However, this Dodgers ball girl was sitting there, ready to pounce. Man got decked by the Dodgers ball girl and was immediately apprehended. We have the video. We're going to pull that up. Here we go. One sec. I'll put that right there. Alright, so do a little play by play here. So there he is, running the right field. This little ball girl flips him over the fence. Look at her walking away. Just stepping back to work. Not a big deal. Look at the form. Bop. Got him. And it's so nonchalant. So nonchalant afterwards, too. Gotta love it. I love the form, love the attitude. Just respect. Great play. One of the best plays on the field. Shout out to her. Do we even know her name? No. They don't even tell the name. What a shame. She was a star. I don't know. For me, that just gets me excited for some football. Let's go. Because hey, she read that, lined up, and did not let her through. It was pretty sweet. Good, just a good play. Athletic move. We'll see. What else do we got? This one, I'm gonna be honest. This is not sports news, I would say. But it's definitely something I saw and I thought it was real funny. Um, at this country club golf course in British Columbia, this dude Tim was about to take a shot on the 12th hole, and then big old bear starts barreling towards him. His quote was, "Do I make myself big and run away, and back away, or do I just run? I know I'm supposed to do the former for a cougar, but I couldn't remember what advice I'd be given for fighting a frightened charging bear." So this guy did know what to do if a cougar was coming at him, and that is great information to know. Unfortunately, this was a bear. But so he just started. He just started running for his life. Um, all right, no, but he described it as I wasn't running. I was just moving very quickly. This dude saw a bear and he was running. So he apparently started running, turned around, was screaming, "Hey, bear," to try to scare him. Instead, it got confused and climbed up a tree. Which is also strange. And then our guy, the bear, comes down the tree and just starts poking around at some golf clubs. And we'll watch that video right now. Because, I mean, what a treat. We get to see a bear. But we don't have to be afraid of the bear, obviously. Because we already know that it's not coming after us. Shout out to this guy, though. He just ran for his life from a bear. And saw got moderately interested in something else. And pulled out his phone and started recording it. I would be in the next state. But hey, this guy, he thought about the content, had that good forethought, and now we get to watch this video of a bear. So shout out to this guy. Maybe not the best decision, but it's appreciated. So the bear was up in that tree, and he comes down. This guy's pretty. We're gonna mute him. But it seems like this bear is incredibly afraid of the golf clubs. But look at him scurry up that tree. You can't even see him anymore. And the first thing I thought here was, like, if I'm just walking and I walk by a tree, there could very well be a bear in it at any moment because, I mean, obviously he's shaking around in there. But if he was trying to be sneaky and stay still, he could just drop on my head and get me. But yeah, the golf clubs seem to be a great deterrent for the bear. Comes back down, absolutely scoots. Look at him go. Over the hill. Continues to scoot. It's a sunny day. And there he goes. So, I know that guy didn't know his bear survival tips when he left for the day, but now we all know. If you have your bag of golf clubs, just put that thing down and run. And he will look at it and be perplexed and then realize he's afraid. That bear moved quick, concerningly quick. Right when I saw that, I was like, if only that was a bear cat. Now, I'll tell you what, the Bearcat would not have been phased by the golf clubs, because the thing is, it's strong like the bear, but it's a little more evasive like the cat, and that's what makes it a Bearcat. Keep in mind. Looks like the Royals may or may not be live today. Reports say Royals are so live today. Uh, what else? Oh, we got some couple more wacky Olympic things. Just because, there's a there is a water bottle outrage during the marathon at the Olympics. Um, this dude from France, Morad Amdouani, um, was filmed, caught on camera, knocking over a whole line of water bottles during the 2021 Olympic men's marathon. And boy, did that cause a debate. Um, Apparently, you can see him running, approaching the small water bottle table. And he knocks over the whole front row and then grabs the last one for himself. Caused a bit of a controversy. A lot of people were saying he's being a bad sport and sabotaging the water bottles. So a lot of people said it was an accident. Piers Morgan, who who obviously is the person you need to hear from when you're talking Olympic marathon. It's Piers Morgan. Remember, he tried to be Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent, and then he moved on. It's anyway, but Piers Morgan, for some reason, called him the biggest dick of the Olympics. The thing is, all right, so I don't like. This is just ridiculous, to be honest. The whole controversy about it, and for people to think, people with like an actual following to come out and be like, this guy is the worst. Like this for another politician, this Dutch politician tweeted, which is a stupid sentence to begin with. A Dutch politician tweeted about the man who accidentally knocked over some water bottles at the Olympics and said, he deliberately knocks over all of the water for his fellow contesters. I guess that's a language thing. In the marathon, Abdi Nagy from Holland was directly behind him and didn't get a bottle. He won silver. Amdouni finished 17th. Karma is a bitch. So first of all, these guys are all using unfamily friendly language. And everyone's just freaking out about this guy knocking over some water bottles. And it seems like it's like nobody can understand that in the video he clearly tries to grab the one and it slips forward and knocks over several more. I don't know, maybe he's a little tired from being in the middle of a marathon. Maybe the water bottles are a little slippery on account of water. It was 30 degrees Celsius, which is what, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees of humidity. Those bottles were definitely sweating. And it's just like, what? Like, why are we? Why are we publicly shaming this dude for knocking over water bottles? One row of water bottles. Like, you've got so many water bottles to drink. And dude, it's on a track. Like, they'll just put them up for the next lap. Dude, it's the Olympics. We have more water bottles. Everybody relax. This poor dude. Everyone just came right at him. Do we have the video? It's just so weird that everyone chose to actually put out their opinion on this. It's like, I feel like, I don't know. I've seen marathons. I've never ran one, but I've worked on it. I've done. People knock that stuff over. People lose some of their dexterity when they're 20 miles into a run and they go to grab a wet plastic bottle. Sorry, French guy. And he ended up getting 17th anyway. And the guy who's poor dude didn't get his water got silver medals. So apparently that was a big deal, but ridiculous. Here's something interesting. There's dude in karate. So for the gold medal match, Sajad Gonzadeh of Iran was going against Saudi Arabia's Tarek Hamedi in the men's karate final. So first they do an individual. Oh, so there's individual demonstrations of their katas where you go around and you just show off, do your moves. And then these were the actual one-on-one combats, kumite. Hamidi, the dude from Saudi Arabia, was leading 4-1. Landed a huge kick to this other guy's head and left him unconscious on the ground. Fight was over after a 10 count. He celebrated. He's like, let's go. Won the gold. Everyone's hype. Turns out he didn't. Apparently his big time knockout was a violation of the rules. Unlike UFC, any of your other professional fighting, Olympic competitors are not supposed to fully follow through on blows, especially ones that would be knockouts. So the fact that he came in with the super strong, violent kick, so they disqualified him. He was winning, knocked a guy out, got disqualified, and got silver. Meanwhile, So this guy is on the ground. He doesn't even know he won the gold medal. He's in another world. Other guy is standing there. He thought he just won. Walks off the mat in tears because he just knocked someone out and then was like, "That's not allowed. You get silver now." Apparently, and then this other guy, Ganjade, he learned about his gold medal once he finally regained consciousness in a hospital. And I was like, he's like, the last thing I remember that I was behind by scores, and then that incident happened. I don't remember much after that. And then I remember was that in the medical room, I woke up and I heard from the coach that I won the match. And said, I'm very happy that I achieved this gold medal, but I'm sad it had to happen like this. Seems to be the sentiment for both of them. They're like, I get it's the rules, but sad it had to go like this. I think anytime something ends in a disqualification like that, yeah. we'll see. So that was the karate one. We covered the bear going off the tree. That was important. Covered the unfortunate mascot. Here's something interesting. Miami's quarterback, Derek King, who we've already heard do a couple things with the NIL, name, image, likeness rule changes for NCAA. Um, so he's just signed an NIL deal now with the Florida Panthers, the hockey team. He is a quarterback. He does not play hockey, um, but he is in Miami, which is in Florida, as are the Panthers, and he signed an NLI agreement with the Florida Panthers, which makes him the first college athlete to sign an NIL agreement with a professional sports franchise. Apparently, what this means, because it's like, well, what is a college quarterback gonna do with a professional hockey team? He will appear at Panthers games and events, work closely with the digital and social media teams. He will also develop a merchandise collection and have his own concession menu at the Panthers Arena, which is pretty sweet. That's what turned me around. I was like, all right, whatever. He gets to do some work. Oh, the merch, that's pretty sweet. He gets his own menu. That's pretty cool. Now, they seem to really like him. Said he's a superstar on and off the field. They're excited to reach and engage with sports fans in new ways through this collaborative partnership. So I think the fact that this happens means that it's absolutely going to continue to happen. It's just really weird that it's he's signed. So they're saying the Panthers are saying it as he's their first ever FLA athlete, um, which I'm assuming means that there'll be other ones. It's just really weird looking at, like, it's the Panthers logo and it says athlete, like FLA, Florida Panthers athlete, and then it's not like a guy that plays for the Panthers. It's just confusing. It's just a little confusing that sports team is signing athletes that aren't playing for the sports team. Not like that's, I think it's a bad idea. Not that I think it doesn't make it. It's just confusing. But it's just looking at, it's the Panthers as a business, not as the team. Like he's signed to the Panthers business side, I guess, kind of thing. He's already got NLI deals with the Wharf, a local restaurant, a local auto dealership in the Murphy Auto Group, a moving company, the College Hunks Moving, and a trading card company for Panini. So he has absolutely gotten his bag. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Well, he's definitely got to be making some big, big, big money. Peyton Manning. It's now in the Hall of Fame. Of course, his speech was excellent because what else would you expect from Peyton? So starts out with a little bit of started with a little joke about Ray Lewis's 38-minute speech the other day saying, "Oh, Ray Lewis just finished giving his speech and he started in 2018." Came at Brady for the old age, of course. Said Tom Brady by the time he's inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bunch of people booed at that time, and then he said, in his first year of eligibility in 2035, he'll only have time to post his acceptance speech to his Instagram account, meaning that he'll play for another 9 years and then get 5 years, then be inducted. So, solid age joke on Brady. Love to see that. He talked about his dad, got a little emotional, said he was his favorite quarterback. It was a great moment. So other guys getting inducted this year. Yeah, Drew Pearson. I'm sorry, what am I talking about? The presenter, Drew Pearson, presented Roger Staubach, who actually got, he must have been waiting a minute now. I don't know how long it's been since he retired, but it's far more than 5 years. Mark Davis as an owner was presenting for Tom Flores, and then Peyton went and got his with Archie Manning presenting. John Lynch, Calvin Johnson got in there, and Derek Moore, his teammate, came out and presented it. Alan Faneca, Steelers. Heinz Ward came out and presented to him. Charles Woodson and his mom, Georgia Woodson, gave it to him. So it's all very interesting. It's cool to look at all the it's all these different guys because they really are from all over the place. I always like to see who else was on this list because, it's like you're either going to get in your first year, second year, or you're going to have to wait a while. So looking at the 25 modern era guys left. So obviously Jared Allen, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, and Charles Woodson all made it. Still on the list are Eric Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber, Cornelius Bennett, Tony Vasili, Leroy Butler, Alan Faneca, Rodney Harrison, Torrey Holt, John Lynch, Clay Matthews, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Steve Tasker, Fred Taylor, Zach Thomas, Heinz Ward, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, Darren Woodson, and Bryant Young. So I think that isn't a fully updated list because some of those guys did make it in that weren't highlighted on there. But yeah, some big names still left. We'll see who enters the class next year. He's in class. So Eric might have gotten mauled by a bear. He was up in Canada. That is where we saw that bear. Oh my God, he was playing golf too. He was playing golf in Canada. Just like that bear. Oh my gosh. Yo, you really might have. He might have been on that course. Can you imagine that bear's range after he saw the golf clubs? He's freaking out. Probably went and chased down Eric and eated him. Jeez. No, he's not MIA, but he was in Canada at a golf course, and he might have gotten mauled by a bear. We'll see if he never comes back. Definitely means he's been eaten. I hope he didn't get eaten by a bear. I suppose if you're gonna go out, it's not the worst way. At least it's kind of. No, I won't say it's cool to get eaten by a bear. I feel like that could be offensive. It's not cool to get eaten by a bear, but it's definitely interesting. You know, it's an interesting. Hey Braxton, if Eric did get eaten by a bear, you can pull up right there, bud. But just kidding. I don't think he's getting eaten by a bear. Should be back on Thursday, I believe. I don't know if in time for the show or not, but should be back in the area Thursday, at least by Friday. Unless, of course, he was mauled by a bear, in which case the timetable will be up in the air. Oh, wait, alright. With that Tony Romo thing, I want to see who else is eligible. Who's eligible in 2022? Zach Thomas, Darren Woodson, DeMarcus Ware, Hines Ward, Andre Johnson, Jared Allen, Leslie O'Neal, Willie Anderson, Asante Samuel's in the eligible. Steve Tasker. Who was like? Oh wait, 2021 would have been retired in 2016. So who retired in 2017? Okay, so Tony, DeMarcus Ware, Justin Forsett, Percy Harvin, Jordan Cameron, Doug Free, King Dunlap, Sebastian Vollmer, Chris Chester, Jake Long, nobody. Roddy White, Andre Johnson, DeMarcus Ware, Vince Wilfork, Terrence Knighton, Rob Ninkovich, James Laurinaitis, Chad Greenway, AJ Hawk, Brandon Flowers. Wow, there's some good guys in this class. Pat McAfee. Interesting. So, big names in the 2017 class. Oh, I've got him. If you made a sure. So I'm riding the giant Yu Darvish in the battle. But I'm slaying the bear that's eating the fish Eric. Interesting. Yeah, Devin Hester's absolutely locked. There's no way Tony makes it. There's no way Tony can get in the Hall. I'm sorry, but like it's not about what he could have maybe done had he been healthier, did this, did that. I mean, don't get me wrong, really good quarterback, but here's his career records. Didn't play in 05, 06. Or sorry, 04 or 05. 06 was his first year starting. Went 6-4. Then he was 13-3. Solid, respect. Then 8-5, 11-5. Then he was 1-5, 8-8, 8-8, 8-7, 12-3, 3-1. Done. So that's just not a no Super Bowl, Where's where's like playoffs? He's 2-4 in the playoffs. Yeah, no shot, no shot. Really, they're actually talking about him like he's a lock. You can't tell me that like Romo gets in over Eli even or like Rivers, and those are guys like Eli and Philip Rivers. I also don't think should make it in, but I feel like they even have a better case to make than Tony Romo. That's crazy that they're actually treating him. Yeah, all I know is Jerry World is a big stadium. Um, oh, he was caught in him. Wait, Jerry Jones was caught at a massage parlor in 2019. Or is this a fake? That's a confusing. Whatever video I just found was very confusing. Um, okay, no, this is so. Upon I was just googling to see if there was like any case Jerry Jones, and I could not find that. But I just found Jerry Rice got caught at one. Uh, what was this? 1998. Um, the police showed up to serve papers to shut down the spa on Wednesday. Um, Now, this was not a criminal thing. Although they were suspected of doing prostitution, it was not a criminal thing. They just didn't have a proper permit, so it's kind of a civil, just like, hey, you got to shut down until you get the permits. Um, no arrests were made. But then, like, all the customers walk out, and one of them is just Jerry Rice. Wow. Hey, fun little tangent. That's an article from '98 we're getting into. Interesting. All right, we're gonna kick to break. Come back and do the bets. I don't know if we're gonna get into all the bets, just because even though Eric's not on the show, he will be doing the VIP picks for the day. I don't want to, you know, say one thing, have him come in with the other thing, all that. Is it out yet? Monday out? No, all right. So they're not out yet. So we'll do maybe a more, especially with the number of games, maybe a quick, just kind of like overview, informative, maybe some locks if they're there. I don't know. We'll see. For now, quick break. We'll be back, fellas. Just a few minutes. All right. Don't go anywhere. Betting talk soon. Fellas, all right, we are back. It's time to get into the big MLB slate today. First game going off is going to be. I don't want to get out of order here because there's a lot to look at. Got the Brewers going to Chicago to play the Cubs. They have a doubleheader today. First game, Freddie Peralta's pitching for the Brewers. Cubs are pitching, or Justin Steele is pitching for the Cubs. Seeing the over/under at 7. I'm not currently seeing a money line on DraftKings, on BetUS. Let's see. Yeah, BetUS. They don't even have the. Do they have the game? All right, so right on BetUS, the Brewers are getting minus 185. Cubs are getting plus 165. Probably gonna stay away from this one with it being an early game and game one of a doubleheader, 7 innings. Hard to mess with the over under in a 7-inning game. Let's see, because there should be 2 of these. Yeah, so the Peralta Steele matchup. Obviously, they're both solid pitchers. 2.21 ERA for Peralta, .89 WHIP. Has been pitching even better in his last 3, going 1.13, .88. Steele, on the other hand, is a 2.03 for the Cubs, 1.05 WHIP. Yeah, probably just a classic kind of just stay away from the double headers. When there's so many games on the slate, it's not going to be the best one to look at to make your money. I would be taking the Brewers here just on, even I would give the Peralta the nod at pitcher, even though they're both pretty solid. Even if they're equal, though, the Brewers are just a better scoring team. I don't know. They actually, the Cubs are not bad. They're 11th in home runs. They both have pretty low batting average. They're 27th and 28th in the league for their batting average. So neither of them are going to do crazy numbers. And if this was a 9-inning game, I would like the under. I just don't know what's going to happen here when it's set at 7 for a 7-inning. It's tough. Probably just a stay away thing. We might come in for the second one. See what happens there. But this first one will stay away. Maybe lean on the Brewers. But even if it's going to be at minus 180, that's a little too much. When without moneyline odds on DraftKings, I'm assuming a lot of the other U.S. based, like legit app sports books, probably not going to see a money line yet, so we'll stay away from that one. Up next, the LA Angels with Chris Rodriguez pitching are going to Toronto to play the Blue Jays, and Steven Matz is their starting pitcher. Blue Jays are getting minus 170 off the rip. Angels plus 150, over under 7.5. This is also a doubleheader, 7-inning game. Be warned. We might mess with this one, though. Looking at the pitching stats for these guys, Rodriguez is a 3.86 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. Matt's a 4.3 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. Both been playing pretty similarly in their last 3 as well. So if you go, the one thing I've been liking recently are the overs in Toronto. Is this in? Oh, so this isn't even in Toronto. So they made it sound like it is, but it isn't. Even so, the over also is favored at Angels Stadium. The over is 36-19-1. Not to mention these are two big time swinging teams. Obviously, the Blue Jays, they're second in their batting average, first in home runs, third in runs per game. And the Angels aren't no slouch either. They're sixth in their batting average, ninth in their home runs, and tied for 11th in runs per game. Blue Jays just give up a lot less. The Blue Jays, I think, take this one at minus 170 is kind of tough. And again, another 7-inning game, always a tough thing to read. Their second game goes off at 10:07. So that's an extremely close doubleheader as well. Like the Brewers Cubs one goes off at 2, and then their second game is at 8:05. They have a good 6 hours between. These guys are going back to back. They're starting at 6 on the first one and 10:07 for the second one. So it actually might not be worth doing the second one because who knows what's going to happen then. Maybe the first one is where you'd want to take the Blue Jays, because I think I do want to take the Blue Jays in one of these and probably parlay it with someone else because they've been hot. Let's see. Try to get a little more information. I want to make a play on this one. Blue Jays are 16-50, 8-2 in their last 10. Angels are 56-56, 5-5 in their last 10. Very, very much 500 team. That AL East is very tough because the Blue Jays are 4th in the NL East right now with a 60-50 record. Yankees 62-50, Red Sox 65-49, and the Rays 68-44. Blue Jays do struggle a little bit on the road, but not enough to turn me off to them, I don't think. See, and 7.5 is a lot for a 7-inning. I would like to mess with the over/under in this one, but again, probably just not a good idea. In their recent head-to-heads, so they've only played 3 times this year. The Angels have won 2 of them. They won the first game 7-5, second game 7-1, and then after that, this was a series in April. Final game of the series, Toronto came back with a 15-1 win. I know I was saying it's not something I do, but I kind of like the over here anyway, despite it being a 7-inning guy. Yeah, I think maybe them in an alt run parlay could be good. So yeah, the Blue Jays have not been. They don't have the greatest record against teams against 500. It looks like, but they've also had a really tough schedule. Yeah, maybe take them at a maybe like I don't know. Yeah, you could do an alternate run parlay with them. I also kind of like it over 7.5 because the bats have been flying in their games these years. this year. These matchups. Can we see? I don't know. That's it. When it's at 7.5, and in every matchup, one team alone has scored at least 7. Ugh, it's tough not to want to take that. It's really tough not to want to just steal that one. Well, yeah. So, what would like an alternate? Huh. Yeah, you can't even. They don't have many bets out, at least on DraftKings. I'm not seeing anything as far as alternate lines. Not seeing anything for. You can't do any first fives. It's a tough one. If you're gonna have to take this one alone, without messing with anything, I do like over 7.5. And then I think we can come back and check out. It looks like you'd have to do the money line, at least on DraftKings again. That is what I'm looking at right now. It looks like you'd have to do money line or the run line. It doesn't look like there's many options for alternatives. Could change as we get closer to game time as well, but not for now. I'm going to jot Angels, Blue Jays, game 1 over. Let's see. I feel like, but if there's a stack on it, is it just we're gonna have to stay away. Let's see what the reports are saying off of action. For the total, the over is getting slightly hammered at 86% of bets. Still, I don't know. Might be a stay away, or see if there's something you can parlay the Blue Jays with it later on, because I do think they win game 1. I think game 2 would be the spot. If you think the Angels will steal one of these two, I think game 2 would be the one that they would steal more likely. But moving on, I got Dodgers, Phillies. In Philly, Max Scherzer pitching for the Dodgers, Aaron Nola pitching for the Phillies. Over under set at 8.5. Dodgers are the favorites on the road at -160. Phillies getting +140 on the money line. Max Scherzer's been lights out. He's been playing really well since he's gone to the Dodgers. 2.75 ERA, .89 WHIP. Has a 3.15, .95 in his last 3. Aaron Nola, on the other hand, a 4.49 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. 3.66, .81 in his last 3 as well. Let's take and look a little bit at what they've been doing in like first fives and stuff, because could definitely be a spot to. So, yeah, Aaron Nola's even better at home. The 3.18 ERA at home. So, in his last 5, pitching for 5, 6, 8, so at least 5 he'll be in for. Runs 2, 1, 4, 4, 5, 7, 0, 6. So he's kind of a boomer. He's either gonna let up like 0 or 4. Max Scherzer, on the other hand, he's a 3.18 on the road, so they have the exact same. Aaron Nola's ERA at home is the same as Scherzer's on the road. Went for Scherzer's going for 7.6, 7.32, 3.26 innings in his last 5. He's let up 2, 1, 4, 7, and 1 runs. What is it like maybe a. Ashby is starting game 2 of Brewers Cubs. He's a friend of a friend. Last time he got flown out 2 hours before game time to start, he texted saying to take the Cubs. All right, maybe some insider information for that game too. Yeah, Phillies have been really hot lately. The Phillies in August seem like a different team. Um, especially seeing them at home. Very tempting. What is the Phillies team total over? Might be a move here. Over 3.5? Yeah, I mean, that's very tempting. Phillies over 3.5. They're averaging 4.5 runs a game. Phillies have won 8 in a row, so I don't. It's tough to take the money line for a team that's won 8 in a row because it's like, especially a team like the Phillies, they're bound to lose one here. If you do want to take maybe a home run player prop, Bryce Harper has hit in 3 of the Phillies' last 4. Justin Turner for the Dodgers has also hit in the last 2 on the road. Bryce Harper's at plus 230. Justin Turner's at plus 330. I might lay that Bryce Harper one just for fun. Yeah, I want to see what they've been up to. So, in their matchups for this year, they had a series back in June. Dodgers won the first 2 3-1, 5-3. Then the Phillies won 2-0. So in that series, the Phillies have not been looking good. However, recently, obviously they've been winning. Even in those, they haven't been scoring much. They've only 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4. I'm sorry, wait. Never mind. That is incorrect. 3, 5, 4, 7, 9, 5, 7, 15, 2-0, then 8, 1, 4, 6. True, an all plus run power line play with another alt line who could win or at least cover. Yeah, got a couple, maybe another favorite to put with, another like big favorite to put with this, and then yeah, could be. What's the Dodgers team total? If the game total is 8.5 and the Phillies are getting 3.5, they must be getting 4.5. Yeah, probably. Yeah, over 4.5 at minus 125. What about a Nerfy? Nerfy's minus 110. I'm drawing Philly's team total over right now just because I think they got to go over 3.5. And a minus 110. Nothing too shaky. Actually, minus 115 now. I like that. I like that at that odds. But I also like the idea of coming back in with the Phillies plus 1.5 maybe, and then adding someone else who's going to be a strong favorite into a parlay. Maybe parlay with the game 1 for the Brewers there. I don't know. But for now, for that game, I like the Phillies team total. Yeah. It's a tough one, though, because the Phillies are hot, but the Dodgers are a really good team. The pitching, Matt, and Scherzer's a really good pitcher. It's a tough one because in almost any other situation, I'd be like Phillies, Phillies, Phillies. They got the hot hand. Roll with them. So to be a little careful with what the actual outcome will be, Phillies team total, because I think they can get 3.5. I do like that Bryce Harper home run. Except the Tigers and Casey Mize are going to the Orioles in Baltimore playing Keegan Aiken. Over under is set at 10. Tigers are slight favorites at minus 125. Orioles getting plus 105. Dive into these guys a little bit. Mize is a 3.57 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. Aiken is a 7.66 ERA, 1.74 WHIP. He has somehow been even worse in his last three. So I was hoping it would look like this. I'm gonna assume. I'll look at the money line, like how many bets are on these guys. I think you take Detroit. This is Detroit all the way. They've been a better team, way better than the Orioles. They're starting a better pitcher, and they're only at minus 125 for the money line. Seeing their matchup and their head-to-heads, they've had 4 games this year. They're each 2-2. 7-8, 7-8. So they've hit 7 or 8 all 4 games. Yeah, I like Tigers money line here. Seems easy, maybe even a little too easy, but I can't say no to that, especially at minus 125. I also like the under here. They haven't even sniffed 10 in any of their matchups this year. I think the over is just counting on Detroit absolutely shelling Keegan Aiken. Tigers scored 5-1 or 5-2-1, 8-1, and 4 in their last. What's that? It's the last 6 games. Orioles 6-3, 6-3. Nah, I won't mess with the over under. Just Tigers money line. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. Tigers win this game. Need a sip of water. So next up, another 705. These have all been 705s. Another 705. The St. Louis Cardinals and J.A. Happ go to Pittsburgh to play the Pirates and Steven Brault as their starting pitcher. Over under set at 9. Cardinals are getting the nod at minus 135. Pirates plus 115 at home. So J.A. Happ's been a 3.6 ERA, 1.2 WHIP for the Cardinals. Brault is a 2.25 ERA, 1.0 WHIP for the Pirates. Who, wow, I did not know he's actually that good. Now let's see, is he actually that good? Okay, so he's had one game where he pitched 4 innings, let up 1 run. So you'd think that maybe he comes down to earth in his second game. J.A. Happ, on the other hand, has pitched more than 1 game. Only 1 in St. Louis, though, since he was traded from Minnesota. In those, wow, he's been letting up a lot of runs. he has been letting up a lot of runs. I kind of like the Pirates here, to be honest. I get Steven Brault is a question mark, but if anything, that might serve as a little bit of a help, just because his first outing was really, really, really good. So if he happens to be really, really, really good, we can get in ahead of it being more of a, well, it's still up in the air. Um, I think the Pirates absolutely have the potential to put up runs on J.A. Happ. He's been. They're just. Oh, it's just so hard when they're dead last in home runs and runs. But it's not as hard when you look at Cardinals are 24th in home runs, 26th in runs. And the Pirates actually beat them in their batting average. Gary Polanco for the Pirates has hit a home run in the last 2 games against the Cardinals. Keep in mind, he's a plus 450 to hit a homer. In their head-to-head this year, looks like they've played 5 times. Pittsburgh has won 3 of them, actually. Wow. Yeah, I think I like Pittsburgh here. I really think I do. In Pittsburgh, um, Tigers team total first 5 over 2.5. I do like that. I do like those first 5 team totals. Yeah, because they will bat that. They will bat Keegan Aiken around. What's the full game? It's probably too much, right? Yeah, they're 5.5 on the full game, so yeah, not worth messing with. Yeah, yeah. Normally when that's a 2.5 and the full game is a 5.5, it's a good bet. I do like that as well for the Tigers. Um, the over 2.5 is at minus 120. So depends how you're feeling about it. It's about the same odds as the money line. But yeah, they should absolutely beat Keegan Aiken up. He should get absolutely stomped on. I'm gonna write that down. I do like that. And then I'm gonna write it down. Pirates money line. I like it. That's at plus 115 right now too. Cardinals have been good lately, overall, or better at least. But they're just not a team that I'm afraid is gonna tear the Pirates apart, especially with. They're 55 and 56, 4-6 in their last 10. Pirates are 3-7 in their last 10. Yeah, I'm rolling Pirates plus 115. Moving on. Now we're out of 705 world, going into 710 world. Just grinding through the list here. Oakland Athletics and Sean Manaea going to Cleveland to play the Indians / Guardians, and Tristan McKenzie as their starting pitcher. Over under set at 9.5. A's are favorites, getting minus 140. Indians plus 120. Take a look at the pitching matchup real quick. Sean Manaea is a 3.26 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. Has been almost the exact same in his last 3. McKenzie, on the other hand, a 5.89 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. What is Oakland's? How much is Oakland getting on that? Minus 140 is not bad juice for Oakland. So, interesting. Okay, so I actually like just look real quick. Because I'm thinking, first of all, I might just like the Chaminade over 5.5 strikeouts. Let's see. How's he normally? 4, 9, 13, 7, and 6. So his last 5, he's hit 4 out of 5. And then before then, even it's 7, 6, 6, 7, 11, 5, 3, 8, 8, 6. Yeah. Alright, so I like that. I'm going to jot that down. Chaminade over 5.5 strikeouts at minus 105. He does that all the time. And Indians aren't a bad batting team, but I don't think they're going to be the ones that make him go under there. Also, I kind of like the A's run line in the first 5, -1 or -0.5, getting that at -115 on the odds. I don't hate that. Not at all, actually. I might just jot that down too. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go super in-depth, especially because Eric will be coming in, again, assuming he's not been eaten by a bear, he will be coming in with the full VIP slate, so I'm not going to go, I'll go general leans. I'm not going to go super in-depth in everything, but I will pass the notes along to the man. Moving on to the next 7-10, the Rays and the Sox. Luis Patino pitching for the Rays. Eduardo Rodriguez pitching for the Red Sox. Over/under is set at 10. Rays getting +105. They're the underdogs on the road. Red Sox -125 at home. Looking at these pitchers, Patino's a 4.42 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. Rodriguez a 5.33 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. I think. Let me just check something real quick on how the money line bets are going. All right, about 50-50. I like the Rays here. Obviously, the Red Sox are a good team. That's why they're the favorites. However, you could say the Rays are a better team, especially in the last 10. The Rays are 8-2 in their last 10. The Sox are 2-8 in their last 10. The Rays away record is the same as the Red Sox home record. They're starting a better pitcher. I see no reason that you wouldn't take the Rays here, especially at plus odds. Love to see that, actually. That's a good one. Rays money line +105. That's it. That's one I just feel like don't overthink it. If the Rays are the better team, Rays have been the better team in the last, in the recent games. They have a better pitcher who's been better pitching in the recent games. And they're at plus odds on the money line. They're underdogs, and they're getting less than 50% of the money line bets. That's an excellent one. So excellent, in fact, that I think I might put a little star next to it. That's all right. Nationals Mets. Goes off at 7:10 as well. Paulo Espino pitching for the Nationals. Carlos Carrasco, pitching for the Mets. Over/under is set at 8.5. Mets are getting the huge money line favorite at -235. Nationals at +190. Let's take a look at what these guys have been up to. Espino's a 3.66 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. Carrasco, on the other hand, a 3.24 ERA, 1.08 WHIP. So actually pretty close in terms of their starting pitchers. Should go. What was the over-unders? 8.5. The under is 33-15 in at Citi Field in New York, which I do like. The Nationals are actually a really good batting team. Not a really good, but they have the third best batting average in the MLB. 20th in home runs, 17th in runs. This just looks good compared to the Mets, who are 25th in batting average, 26th in home runs, 29th in runs. They're absolutely on a just a bit of a decline too. Obviously, where they win is their pitching. Nationals have gone over in 8 of their last 9. The Yerfie has hit in the last 4 matchups between the Nationals and Mets. And the Nationals have won 3 of those 4. Just a little tidbit. I'm thinking I almost want to take the Nationals first 5. Something like that. Because I get why the Mets would be favored, but by minus 235 is insane for those guys. That just might throw it off to the point where it's a stay away, but there it is. First 5 totals 4.5. Nationals to win in the first 5. What about what's the run line? Nationals first 5 plus 1 is minus 110. I don't hate that. Because they even be down by 1 and push. I'm gonna jot that down. This game's probably more of a stay away than anything, just because the Mets are getting such crazy odds on them at minus 235, but they are probably the better team. But Nationals plus first 5 plus 1 is at minus 110. I like that. Gives them some wiggle room. Win on the tie, push if they're down 1, and if they're winning, you just get that money. So I actually like that. Yeah, not bad. All right, we're out of 7-10 world. Now it's 7:20. The Cincinnati Reds taking on the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta. Sonny Gray pitching for the Reds. Drew Smiley pitching for the Braves. Over under set at 9.5. And it is a pick on both teams getting minus 110. So this is a fun one. What is the Sonny Gray, Drew Smiley? Okay, so Sonny Gray has been a 4.4 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. Smiley's been a 4.5 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. Their ERAs are .06 different apart, and their WHIPs are .01 apart. So not a lot to pull from there when they're already in a pick'em game. The bats recently, let's see. First, keep in mind, over under is 31-21 in Atlanta. So the over is 31-21, but the last 6 Reds Brave games have gone under as well. Um, Dude, someone's sawing out there again. I'll tell you, everyone's always sawing out there. In their last, okay, so they've had 4 matchups this year. Atlanta won 2, Cincinnati won 2. Atlanta won 4-0, 3-2. Cincinnati won 4-1, 5-3. So end of the day, I think the Reds are they're just really tight teams, man. The Reds do have a stronger batting average. And they just average more runs per game, but the Braves are not that far behind in their runs per game, and they actually score more home runs, steal more bases. Their opponent ERA is very, very close. Opponent batting average is very, very close. And the Reds do get a little push on their strikeouts per game. I might roll with the under here to go with that trend. Or might just keep it simple. They're just so close. They're both 7-3 in their last 10. Cincinnati's 31-27. Are they on the? We're in Atlanta, yes. Yeah, so they're 30-25 on the road. The Braves are 29-28 at home. It's tough. Every one of all the odds are the same. Team total first 5 for the Braves, over 2.5 plus 105. Reds over 2.5 plus 105. Team totals 4.5 minus 115. 4.5. Oh, okay. Interesting. Braves over 4.5 at minus 115 might be the bet. The thing is, one of these teams is gonna score like 4 or 5, and one of them's gonna score 1 or 2. I'm just gonna roll under. Part of me really wants to take the Braves or the Reds for some reason too. I'm just getting like complete weird gut, no reason behind it. I'm just like bet on the Reds. So maybe I'll just do a gut Reds money line minus 110. As far as like one that has actual numbers behind it, I do like under 9.5 at minus 110 for this game. Yeah. So that's out of 7 o'clock world. Now it's 8:05, and we got the Brewers Cubs game with Aaron Ashby and Alec Mills. So this is the one Braxton was talking about. Aaron Ashby's a friend of a friend. Last night I got flown out 2 hours before game night to start. And this is what they don't have much time. This is interesting. Maybe that's a Cubs at plus 115 as well. Let's check real quick on Wow, I don't know what happened to your friend of a friend, but somehow his ERA is 54. Holy moly. Wow. Oh, okay. I see how that works. Okay. So he's pitched 2/10 of an inning that he allowed 7 runs on 4 hits. Um, yeah, so if he's getting flown out 2 hours before again, um, yeah, that's Cubs. That game 2 Brewers Cubs, I think you got to go Cubs. Because the Brewers aren't necessarily. We already went over the numbers. Neither of them are crazy impressive batting teams, but the Cubs actually nudge them out in their batting average and home runs per game. Although the Brewers score a little bit, slightly more runs per game. Where the Brewers do have an advantage is their pitching. But if they're flying this guy out on another back-to-back, and the last one he gave up 7 runs in 2/10 of the first inning, that's Cubs money line. Game 2 of the Cubs Brewers. Do not confuse it with Game 1. Do not take the Cubs money line in Game 1. I don't think that would pan out, but it might. Who knows? Like, obviously, if you think that's hitting, then take that bet. But that is not the one I'm talking about right now. White Sox and Dallas Keuchel going to Minnesota to play the Twins and Griffin Jacks. Over under set at 10.5. The money line is minus 150 for the Sox, plus 130 for the Twins. Let's take a look over here. Here it is. Keuchel's a 4.4 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. Jax is a 5.63 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. Let's see here though, because Griffin Jax, I want to look what he's been up to. So he goes 4 or 5 innings. In his last 3, he's only let up 1 run, and then before that, he let up 6 and 3. However, we're talking about the White Sox. He did hold the Astros and the White Sox each to 1 run in 4 and 5 innings. This is pretty impressive. He's been hot lately. Definitely gotta give it to him there. He's been hot lately. Mr. Dallas, on the other hand, his last, okay, so he's going 5-7 typically. Let up 2, 5, 4, 2, and 1 in his last 5. That was through July and August. It was 2 and 3 in those. Shoot. Now, I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be hard to sway me into taking a Minnesota money line here. I don't think that I'm gonna do that actually. But what could happen, maybe early on, I don't know, man. I really want to do something a little wild with this one. Maybe it's about that time. Your fee is minus 140, so don't want to mess with that. Okay, see, the Twins are only plus 110 to win the first 5, which is kind of, I was thinking if that would make a little bit of sense. But I thought it'd give you better odds than that. I thought it'd be a little more controversial. Um, Twins plus 105 is actually or plus .5 is actually minus 120. The total over under 6 first 5. I don't see that. I actually like that first 5 under 6 right here. Jax isn't letting up. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's going to let up many runs, especially not to get to 6. And then I don't see the Twins scoring enough to get to 6 is the thing. Hmm. Yeah. White Sox, Twins. That is at minus 120, slightly juiced, but that's because it is at 6, which is a huge number. And allows for the push, which I always like a good even number. Unless it actually pushes, then I get mad. Cool. We're moving through it here, folks. Folks and fellas. What do we got left? Alright. 6 games left. Still at 8-10. The Rockies and John Gray going to Houston to play the Astros and Jay Odorizzi. Over under set at 9. Astros big favorites at home at minus 200. Let's look at the pitching. John Gray is a 3.75 ERA, 1.25 WHIP for Colorado. Odorizzi for Houston is a 4.95 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. Let's break it down a little bit. We're in Houston. All right, so we're in Houston. The over is 32-25 in Houston at Minute Maid Park, averaging 9.1 runs per game. What is it at? Okay, this is set at 9. So, already going to consider that. The Astros are averaging 5.5 runs per game, with a 2.66 batting average, both leading the MLB. Rockies aren't terrible bats. They're 7th in their batting average, 14th in runs per game. They just don't have any pitching typically. Haven't played much head to head. Although in their 2 games this year, Colorado has won both of them, 6-2 on April 20th, 6-3 on the 21st. Wow. But those are very different teams, and they were in Colorado. Whereas we know Colorado was on fire at home, could not win on the road. Now we're on the road in Houston, and the stories are a little different now. That minus 200, though, is a little much. What are the team total overs here? Astros in 4.5 minus 145, which I don't hate. The Rockies is 3.5 minus 120, which I also don't hate. Just gonna look. So the Astros last few games, they scored 5-0, 4-3, 5-3. Rockies last few scored 13-7, 14-6. 2 and then 13 again. Then 1, 5, 4, 9. Okay, but all those ones where they scored a ton were home games. How's that stat line still looking? Are they still doing crazy stuff? Yes, okay, so they're still 38 and 21 at home and 13 and 40 on the road. Just two completely different teams. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what's this. I just don't like this one. I just don't like it. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't like anything in that one. I don't like that game. Don't like it. Don't like the Rockies on the road. Houston has been weird lately. Everything's been a little weird. Stay away from me. Yankees. Here we go. Here you go, Braxton. Yankees going into Kansas City to play the Royals. Nestor Cortez Jr. pitching for the Yankees. Daniel Lynch on the mound for the Royals. Over under set at 10.5. Yankees are getting favored at minus 150. Royals getting plus 130 on the road. At home, that is. Look at the pitchers. Cortez is crazy good. 2.15 ERA, 104 WHIP. Lynch on the other hand is a 6 ERA, 1.59 WHIP. Although he's been pretty good in his last three. So is Cortez though. It's just a little better still. Over under's 10.5 in this one, which maybe. It's pretty high though. For teams that are averaging 4.1 and 4.2 runs per game respectively, 10.5 is huge. Yeah, I kind of just like, oh man, now I'm really getting myself all convinced on this under. Um, how is their match? So yesterday was obviously not the under. It was 8-6, then 8-1, 6-5. Oh man, it seems to keep hitting the over, which kind of makes me like the under even more. Especially with the pitchers coming out here. Lynch has not been crazy good over the season. But really improved recently. I'll have to look what Daniel Lynch is up to. Because if he's pitching lights off lately, that's weird. I typed in one name and someone else came up. Daniel Lynch, please. Gosh. They just don't want me to look this guy up. Okay. So, in his recent games, he's gone for 5 innings, 6 innings, 8 innings in a no runs, 5 hits, pretty nice. And then before that, 2.2 innings where he let up 4 runs, and 0.2 innings where he let up 8 runs. Wow, maybe not that. Although that was way back in May, so you know. And then so he pitched on May 8th, May 13th, and then did not pitch again until July 25th. And since then, he's been a different man. So maybe we try to take advantage of that, because I think that's going to be one of the big reasons why that over-under is so high. That and the game yesterday. I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I had to think for a second. Nah, I like it. Bang. Um, we are cruising out. 4 games left. D-backs, Giants. Zach Gallen pitching for the Diamondbacks. Alex Wood pitching for the Giants. Over unders at 8. Giants getting minus 225, obviously, because they're way better than the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks suck. Last time I said that, I did get boned by the Diamondbacks. Not gonna lie, but all right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble. Looks like a man opened he'll learn how to open up the door, huh? Uh-oh. 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 Here, come here. Look at that pup. What's up, dog? I don't know how it feels about the San Francisco Giants. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You got something to say? You got something to say? I think he's got a point he's gonna make. Yeah? So, in the Giants, what are you doing? You're just geeking, bro. Don't eat that. Look at this guy. What a champ. Here, bro. We can share the chair. We can share. We can share the chair. We can share, dude. We can share. He's a very loving doggy. There he goes. Thank you, Kazi, for your input. All right. Let me fix myself there. What a good dog. Oh, he's taking a nap over there now. It's adorable. But the main thing we were gonna talk about was what's gonna happen in this game between the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Gallen for Arizona is actually pretty solid. 4.62 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Woods a 4.03 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Oh, he got one of my sticky notes. You got one of my sticky notes, dude? Are you kidding me? Out of all the things for you to eat, the sticky note? That's just disrespectful, right? He stole my sticky note. This dude, he's trying to sabotage everything. Alright, no more distractions. We're about to talk about the Giants. Yeah, so Gallen's a 4.62 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Struggled a little bit more recently, 6.89 ERA, 1.4 WHIP in his last three. Wood is a 4.03 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. What's up, bro? I don't know what to do here. Part of it, the over-under is 8, which is just not much. And I think Giants alone might be able to put 8 Dude, don't chew the cable, man. You're going crazy. Um, they're averaging 8.9 runs per game. Over is 27 and 24 in San Francisco at Oracle Park. I think that should go over under 8. I think I should go over 8, actually. I like that. I'm going to say Giants, D-backs, over 8. What more? What else do we got? Hey, dude, don't mess with that chair. That's holding the camera, bro. That's my tripod, man. Don't do it. All right. Blue Jays Angels, we determined that's a stay away because it is like 4 hours after the first game starts, which is insane. No idea how that's gonna work. What's up, dog? Here, after the last game, I'll let you come up and you can be a star again. 10:10 p.m. We have the Texas Rangers and Colby Allard going into Seattle to play the Mariners and Logan Gilbert. Mariners big favorites, getting minus 220 on the road. At home. Wow, I can't stop saying that. Minus 220 at home. Rangers getting plus 180 on the road. Over under 7.5 in this one. You out of here, dude? You done eating paper? You trying to open the door with your face? Alright. Allard's a 5.07 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. Gilbert on the hand at 4.14 ERA, 1.1 WHIP. Allard struggled recently. He's a 10.38 ERA, 1.7 WHIP in his last 3 games. Also 0-3 in those. Gilbert has also not been quite up to his season average, but not as bad as Allard in his last 3. So I'm just trying to figure out why this over-under is so low. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. What? You want out? Be free. Oh, you don't want to be free? You're just jumping around? Come here. You can be on the screen, bro. You can be a star. Alright, but don't say I never did anything for you. Yeah, I mean, we do have the worst batting average in the MLB going against the 29th batting average in the MLB. We have... Oh, yeah, this could be ugly. Here's the main thing to consider here. The Rangers have lost their last 14 games on the road. I don't know exactly what that... Because you can't just take the Mariners anyway, but maybe... Oh, all their games have been so low lately, too. I think the only way this goes over if the Mariners just go off on the Rangers for some reason. I mean, with a 7.5, that means the team totals could be really nice numbers, especially maybe the first 5 ones, so we can look at that. He's just sniffing. Okay, the Rangers team total is 2.5 right now, which is so low. But they're just not good is the problem. Let's see. Have the Rangers scored more than 1.5? What is it? I don't know. So they scored 3 and 3 in their last 2 games, and 1, then 0, then 1, then 3. Then 4, 5. We're on a little streak of actually scoring here. And then back down. They don't have much. I mean, I'm almost thinking that I like the Rangers team total 1.5, over 1.5 at plus 105, just because they're an MLB team, and for plus odds to score 2 runs in the game, I just can't say no. I mean, come on. I get it. They're the Rangers. I get it. But jeez, that's like a crazy low line. Crazy low. I'm sorry, it's 2.5, not 1.5. That makes a lot more sense. Still, I think the 2.5 is still worth at minus 150 there. All right, dude. 1 second, then you can be part of the closing ceremonies. Last game of the night. You hear that, dude? Last game. Just so you know, he's under the desk and he's licking my kneecaps. We're talking about a dog, not a human. Come here, buddy. All right, you can stay there and lick my kneecaps if you really want to. I won't. If that's your truth, man, I'll let you search for it. Yeah? Alright. Last game of the night. 10:10 p.m. The Miami Marlins going to San Diego to play the Padres. Braxton Garrett pitching for the Marlins. Craig Stammen pitching for the Padres. Over under set at 8. Padres are big time favorites, getting minus 240 at home. Marlins plus 195 on the road. Garrett's a 3.58 ERA, 1.59 WHIP for the Miami baseball team. The San Diego baseball team, Stammen, is a 2.71 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. Garrett's been good recently though, down to a 2.2 and a 1.47 in his last 3. So let's look at a little bit of statistics. Kazi, come here. All right, don't come here. That's fine. I almost like the first 5 run line for the Marlins, maybe. And I almost like the... I don't know. Let's see real quick. What are we looking at? Because I kind of like the Marlins over 1.5 first 5. Hey, quit barking at the t-shirts, bro. They won't bark back. That's unfair. In Summer's last 5, he's gone 1 inning, 1 inning, 1 inning, 2 innings. Alright, so that's odd. He's not a guy who's going to pitch more than 2 innings, it looks like. And in his last 1 inning, it was against the D-backs in that one game where I bet on them, and they lost to the D-backs. They let up 2 runs in 1 inning. So that's kind of wild. We will say... What's the full game team total? Marlins over 2.5 team total. That's tempting, man. Hold on a second. We got a wild dog here who thinks he can eat people's socks. Hey. Let go. Good boy. Don't eat that. That's it. You're coming back to the chair. That's it. See? You think you're this big dog. End of the day, though. I can just pick you up and put you somewhere else if you're doing something wrong. All right. It's okay. I forgive you. Yeah, I'm liking that Marlins over 1.5 versus 5. Kind of like the 2.5 full game. Might prefer the 2.5 full game, except for the odds on it. -150. I don't know what to do for this one. Another one where the odds are just almost impossible. So I'm gonna say I just don't have a major lean on that one. I kind of like the team total and the first 5 team total for Miami, but not great. Could be better. Right, boy? Alright. Well, that's the show. At least the bets. Do you want to do a doggy thingy? You want to be on the show and do a doggy? You want to be the big dog? Come here. You want to be the big dog? Come here. You want to be the big... Come over here. Walk over here. There you go. I have to show you how to walk. Okay. I don't want to bonk you, dude. This is Kazi. He's proud and noble. Look at him. Whoa! He's losing his mind. Oh, we heard something interesting over there. What? He seems to be very alert. His tag is absolutely going. He did a little jumpy. What? Alright, I think my guy might have to go out, so we're going to take Doggy out. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back Wednesday. Don't worry, the Fellas Show won't go away again. For now, VIP will be going up. Eric will be doing the VIP. So if it contradicts what I said here, just trust him. I'm just doing brief little looks. He goes way more in depth in the stats and stuff. So yeah, you need to go out. Get a walk. Yeah, he needs a walk. So with that, we're gonna take this dog outside and then move on with the day. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, fellas. We'll see you Wednesday. Be safe out there.